guys, how's it going? Alright, I have to pop on here real quick because there has been some significant Scream 7 news that has dropped. I'm sure many of you already know by now, and everybody's leaving their 2 cents on it, so I'm not going to get crazy into it, but I did want to just give my quick thoughts on it. So Neve Campbell posted today on her Instagram this. So it says, "Hi all, I'm so excited to announce this news. Sidney Prescott is coming back. It's always been such a blast and an honor to get to play Sidney in the Scream movies. My appreciation for these films and for what they have meant to me has never waned. I'm very happy and proud to say I've been asked in the most respectful way to bring Sidney back to the screen, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Well, actually I could. While I've been so incredibly lucky to make these films with both the master of horror Wes Craven and the wonderfully talented Matt and Tyler team, I've dreamt for many years of how amazing it would be to make one of these movies with Kevin Williamson at the helm. And now it's happening. Kevin Williamson is going to direct Scream 7. This was his baby and his brilliant mind that dreamt up this world. Kevin is not just an inspiration as an artist, but has been a dear friend for many years. To the amazing Scream fans, I hope you are as excited as I am. See you on set, Kevin Williamson." Pretty crazy, right? Okay, so it's official. Sidney is coming back. Okay, and Kevin Williamson, the original writer, as well as the writer I think on 2 and 4, but the original writer is coming back. Now, before you think he's a total rookie director, he sort of is. He has directed another film before. I think it was Teaching Mrs. Tingle or something like that. I do remember that movie. Silly little film, but he has clearly directed before, but I think he's definitely the right guy for this. It's just the angle that I'm not so sure of is how it's going to go down with the new fans of the franchise that have really picked it up since Scream 5 without having, no Jenna, no Melissa, don't know what's going on with Core 4, or just what direction they're going to go. So, as a longtime fan like me, like an OG fan that was there, opening night in the lineup, and seeing it specifically because the trailer looked amazing and it was a Wes Craven, thing, and Nightmare is very dear to me, as you know. So, yeah, I've been there since day one, and I think this is definitely exciting news. It's just, I'm sure it's going to disappoint some without having Melissa and Jenna back. And seeing how Spyglass is still, behind it, I don't see Melissa Barrera coming back. She said they'd have to sell the rights for her to come back. So, yeah, that's not so good. So I do wonder what direction they're going to take on it all. Kevin Williamson also responded to Neve's post as well, and he wrote right here, "It's been nearly 30 years since my very first script, Scream, was directed by the legendary Wes Craven. I never would have predicted what it would become, or that I would be directing the 7th installment of the franchise. I am overcome with gratitude and excitement, and I can't wait to take this journey with Neve and the entire Scream family as we bring back Sidney Prescott in the next chapter of the Scream franchise. Thank you to all the Scream fans. You are the gift that keeps giving." So clearly he's excited to direct, as he should be. I mean, this kind of is his baby. He was the guy who wrote the first story, and Wes put it to film, and the rest is history, another masterpiece. Anyway, just curious what your thoughts on it all are. Like I said, it's pretty much posted everywhere, so I'm sure some of you have already probably talked about it plenty, but I was just curious because, my thoughts are I'm optimistic and excited for it. It sounds really cool, but I am concerned that new fan base maybe might not like the idea as much. I don't know, and I'm curious what direction they're going to take as well. Like, what do you think they're going to do? Like, there's a lot of rumors where, people are saying, oh, maybe they'll go back and pick up after Scream 4, and sort of cancel out the other stuff. I thought, what? Like, I think if they're going to cancel anything out, which really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, if they were actually going to do that, I think they should do what I've always wanted them to do, you know, do a requel off of the original, kind of like Halloween 2018 did. Just do an alternate, you know, storyline with the same characters and see what you can do with it. I mean, I'm sure it would do well, and think of the possibilities too. I mean, when you consider how old Scream is now, and you don't really know if Stu died when the TV hit him. I mean, come on. I don't know, man. I get it though. If he's out of the picture, he's out of the picture. I'm not saying he's alive in all these Scream sequels like everybody talks about all the time. I'm not one of those guys, but I do think after the first one, if you just acted like he survived that, went to jail, you know, and he's in prison, I don't know, 25 plus years, and he gets out, you know, and they have a new plot. Yeah, there's a lot of directions they could go, but if they just went off of that, think of the character potential. I mean, you have, like, Randy is still alive. He's awesome. I hated seeing him go, you know, in Scream 2. You still have all the major characters. You got Cotton Weary, you could have him sort of involved there too. Just all these great characters we lost, you know, of course Dewey. It would just be really cool to, you know, see something like that. Well, for me anyway, I think it would do great. It would be fun, and I don't think it hurts anything going in this direction. It doesn't mean you can't pick up the other story. It's not like, I know a lot of people think you do that and everything else is just dead in the water. But that's not necessarily true. You could totally take it in that same direction it was going, you know, with the core four, if you will. So I'm not afraid of them trying something like that. You know, there was a time where I would have thought, well, that sounds dumb, but then I enjoyed the 2018 Halloween and that storyline, you know. Anyway, whatever. My point is, I enjoyed the Halloween 2018, you know, requel treatment, and I think Scream could do some good with it as well. I would sooner see that anyway than see them pick up after Scream 4, you know, and just ignore the other stuff. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I would think they're either going to continue the story, like I'm guessing that's probably what's going to happen, is you're going to know where, you know, where all the other core 4 characters are, but maybe they aren't going to be featured, kind of like, you know, Sydney in the last film. I think that that could still carry and work, but the whole going back thing, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's the greatest idea, and if they were going to do it, I'd way sooner see them just do it right off the original, just change things up, you know, to make something fun that a lot of the fans will enjoy, having all these great characters back. You know, I mean, Stu's alive, you know, Cotton, Randy, you know, Dewey, just great characters. So that would be cool to see. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think of the whole idea. Like I said, I'm sure you've written plenty about it already, but humor me anyway. Another thing I wanted to briefly touch on was the Halloween franchise. There was some recent news that the TV series is going to basically be coming right from the original Halloween movie. And they said it may be some different characters you don't really know much about yet that they're going to concentrate on, or some of the classic characters, but it's supposed to be connected to the original movie, kind of like that. So that's kind of exciting. I think that's an interesting angle. So I thought that was good news. You know, some people were a little skeptical of the whole thing, but I thought that's probably best to do that. I know with the second film, there's the whole sister angle and everything, and I know some people really love that idea, and I get that. You know, I've always been one that thought the boogeyman is scarier when you don't really know much about him, or, you know, he's not somebody's sister from down the street that's killing everybody and just not right, you know, or whatever. That it loses that weight, that magnitude of, oh my God, what are we dealing with, you know? Well, we're dealing with a deranged guy named Michael. It's her brother there, remember him? And it just makes it too normal. It takes away that little bit of that supernatural, oh my God element. That's the only reason why I kind of preferred the boogeyman angle thing. But I did enjoy, you know, Halloween 2 and that whole storyline. So, you know, whatever they do, hopefully they do it well. But this was news that I wasn't really disappointed to hear. I figured if they take it right off the original, they could go in lots of different directions. So that'll be interesting as well. Okay, so lastly, I just wanted to give a really big shout out to one of my favorite horror movies of all time, Witchboard. Yes, it was actually 37 years ago today that Witchboard was released wide in theaters. It did release briefly in some theaters on New Year's Eve, 86 to 87, but you know, no wide release until today here in March. And yeah, I just wanted to give a quick appreciation for one of my favorites. This was the first movie that really scared the hell out of me. You know, when I saw Witchboard, I saw it after I had already seen, you know, a lot of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, Friday the 13th. I was a big slasher fan. And I remember my brother saw it, 'cause he's, you know, he's got 8 years on me. He's older than I am. And he got to see it. And I remember coming home to a note that he left on our dishwasher, right on top of it, and it said, "Matt, you should see Witchboard. It's," and he, capital letters, "scary," like that, underlined it. I'm like, huh? And yeah, I talked to him the next day, and he was like, "Holy crap, man, that's really scary. It has all sorts of jump scenes and just really creepy, you know." And he wasn't wrong, you know. When I was like 10 years old, that was scary as hell to me. I know it doesn't hold up as scary maybe today as it was, but I just love the way it was shot, and I love the score, you know, and the really creepy, you know, ghost-like, you know, almost like howling, and like it made my skin crawl, man. This board, by the way, this came in a very cool set that I have, that I got off of Amazon Germany, actually. So this was a limited edition set where they put out this replica Ouija board, complete with a planchette, nice thick piece of wood, so very cool. It came in this really awesome set. Here, I'll show you. I have done a video on it before, but it was a long time ago. Came with this Blu-ray DVD set inside and this booklet. It's got like it's got a booklet in here. I'm missing the Blu-ray at the moment because it's in my player. I was just watching it. But it's got this interesting media booklet in here with all sorts of pictures and stuff. Very cool. And then the DVD on the back as well. But it's, you can see it's clearly, you know, it's German, it's not North American, so you have to have the right player to be able to play it, that's for sure. But it came in this very awesome set right here. You may have noticed it on the shelf once or twice, but it's you know, it's a wooden box, real deal, and of course has the title font and everything on there, looking very cool. It's got a couple latches on the front, and inside you have the spot where the Ouija sits right on top. The planchette is here, the DVD is here. That's pretty much the whole set. It's just foam, and there is some information about it here as well, right there. So it tells you all about this thing. So this is the Witchboard edition, inclusive Ouija board and media book. Obviously can't read it all because it's in German, but it says right here, Witchboard edition, limited out of 666 copies. So 666, woo, creepy. So there's only 666 of these, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, I found it exclusively on German Amazon when I was looking for it. I don't know if it's still there now. It might be. I remember last time I had a look for it, I think you could still get it. But this is probably a year or two ago since I've looked it up. But one of my favorite sets for sure, and definitely one of my favorite scary movies. I know it's not high up on a lot of folks' lists, but for me it was a big one, and it scared the hell out of me. So just wanted to give a really quick shout out to an awesome horror film that really set me on the journey of trying to find movies that could really scare me like that. A journey that I am still on today. And a few have gone there. A few have definitely gone there. But Witchboard was one of my favorite. Anyway, that is pretty much it for now, guys. So we will see you again for another one real soon. And thanks so much for watching as always.